Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Multifamily Projects Tour. We are going to show you several projects that represent the different kinds of housing that our partners across the state have created with our help and support. First up is Compass House, just north of downtown Laconia. This project was sponsored by Lakes Region Community Developers, a long-standing partner of ours, but this has been a collaborative effort from the start. Compass House is operated by Horizons Counseling Center, a well-established provider of addiction recovery services throughout the region. Additional support is provided by another service provider, Navigating Recovery, and Hodges Management ensures the property is in compliance with the housing use restrictions. The property is a house built in 1904 and used as a residence before it was turned into offices. It's now a home for up to 8 women who have completed addiction treatment programs. Horizons works with Belknap County Department of Corrections, and most of the women who live here are coming straight from jail. The project team uncovered old architectural details and turned this into a very efficient, attractive group home. In an especially nice show of local support, the quilts you see were donated by the Belknap Mill Quilters Guild. Sometimes we hear that our programs exist in silos, as if addiction, incarceration, mental illness, and homelessness were distinct conditions. In reality, the people we serve move among formal and informal systems of support based on what they need and who can help them on a given day. Compass House is a great example of a project that integrates services and funding streams to best serve the women who live here. Next up is Lloyds Hill in Bethlehem. From the opening shots, you might think this property is in the middle of the woods, and it's certainly in a nice quiet setting. But walk less than a mile along the new sidewalks, and you're in Bethlehem Town Center, with a library, elementary school, and several businesses and restaurants. The project has a mix of 2- and 3-bedroom apartments built as townhouses. There are also a few accessible units designed for one-floor living. It is mixed income, general occupancy, with 7 market-rate units. The rest of the 28 units are set at affordability levels of 50 or 60% of area median income. This project had a long development journey that illustrates some of the challenges developers must overcome to build multifamily housing, especially in smaller towns. Requirements imposed during the approvals process added significant time and cost to the project. However, it is now fully leased, providing homes to families who might otherwise struggle to afford them. It's a great example of what is possible in small communities with a partner like Ahead. Next is the Goddard Block in Claremont. Over the years, some of the projects that we are most proud of in terms of their impact on the community have been historic rehabilitation projects. Goddard Block is a great example. It's located right on Opera House Square, and as you can see, it's a beautiful building. It actually was being used as an apartment building before this renovation, but it had fallen into disrepair and been condemned by the city. Kevin Lacasse and his team at New England Family Housing came in, and they did a great job, not only saving the building from demolition, but adding on to the back and increasing the number of apartments from 24 to 36. Goddard Block has a mix of studios, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments that rent for about $700 to $1,100 per month, with all utilities included. The design preserves the first-floor commercial space that is so important to the vitality of the downtown. In addition to low-income housing tax credits and home, the project used federal historic tax credits, and they were recognized for their work by the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance.
Also in the western part of the state is Tracy Community Housing in West Lebanon, developed by another longtime nonprofit developer, Twin Pines Housing. This is the first net zero multifamily building in New Hampshire. That means that all of the energy consumed at this 29-unit apartment building, including heating and cooling, come from electricity generated on site. The building has 450 solar panels. Building a net zero building costs more than a typical apartment building, but it was not that much more. The advantages in terms of long-term sustainability, not just the environmental benefit, but the financial resilience of a building with no utility expenses except water and sewer is hard to overstate. Tracy Community Housing is across the street from the beautiful Kilton Library and a bus stop. Sites with these kind of amenities are hard to find, and they don't happen by accident. This lot was not for sale. It was underutilized parking at a Muskoma Bank branch. Andrew Winter, the executive director of Twin Pines Housing, worked with Muskoma Bank over several years to subdivide the land and make the site available. This is an excellent example of the kind of work that our partners are doing to create great affordable housing in a tough environment. The next project is Wallace Farm, located in Londonderry. The two buildings you see in the opening shots, and which you may have seen while driving south on Route 93, are part of the second phase of the development, which includes 3 buildings of 24 units each. This second phase brings the total number of apartments developed on the site to 168. The developer, Chris Fokas, built the first phase with private financing. Some of the units are rent restricted in accordance with Londonderry's workforce housing ordinance. We helped Chris refinance the property in 2018 using the Federal Financing Bank program, which allowed him to lower the loan payments enough to commit more units to long-term affordability. Phase 2 of the project added 72 more apartment homes, with more than half of them being affordable. They are also some of the most expensive. Western Rockingham County has some of the highest incomes in the state, so an affordable one-bedroom apartment at Wallace Farm rents for about $1,300 per month. That's a lot of money, but it also represents a huge discount relative to other new housing coming online in the area. These apartments have rented up very quickly. Our construction expert commented that these are some of the most attractive apartments we have ever financed. The last project we'll highlight is also the only age-restricted housing in our virtual tour. The Meadows is a 2-phase, 3-building development in Hampton Falls on a site that was deeded to New Hampshire Housing several years ago as surplus state land. We made the site available to developers through an RFP process and selected Avesta Housing of Portland. They are another long-term partner that we work with. Hampton Falls is like many other towns in New Hampshire in that they were not eager to welcome multifamily housing. Avesta worked at community outreach for years in order to get this project approved so that it could be financially feasible and supported by the community. 2 of the 3 buildings are built to Passive House standards, a standard of energy efficiency that is nearly as efficient as net zero. The buildings use about 80% less energy than one built to current code requirements. The result is a property that provides a beautiful and affordable option for more than 70 seniors, some of whom might have had to move from the town that they have called home for their entire lives were it not for the Meadows.